guys, we're back. That was a very short video.
A lot shorter than I thought.
Yeah. Hey guys, it says we have special guest Dave Igo, but I feel like I don't need to introduce you since you were on the last segment. Yeah.
No, it's fun.
But
Olivia's awesome.
Olivia's amazing. I love when she comes on. She's the best.
She's okay. We'll keep working with her.
Feel free to ball up paper and throw it at him.
Oh yeah, we've done that before, Olivia, by the way. We've totally thrown paper at him from off camera.
Just don't hit the prototypes.
Give me that cup.
So we're here to talk about the J Scott Campbell Fairytale fantasy Little Mermaid, first in his Fairytale fantasy line. So what do you want to tell us about this?
I think you can just say his name, Campbell. You don't have to
Just J Scott Campbell?
You don't have to the
Campbell?
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I think it's just Campbell.
Okay.
But this has been
Well,
exciting.
I called him a camel earlier, so I just
I
wanted
think
to
Olivia called him a camel. I think it's really flattering and
okay.
great. At least he doesn't have a cruise line to be confused. He has to be like, my website's
Yeah, we probably did sell a few tickets.
my website's J Scott Campbell.
So the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, so this has actually been really exciting to work on with J Scott. We've been very well aware of his Fairytale Fantasies line, like the calendars, for years and years. When I first started working here over 8 years ago, this has been on our walls. Like, we have to one day make statues of these. It just wasn't the right timing, the right fit, whatever. And we were working with him on various other projects like the Spider-Man line. And then eventually we're at a point where, hey, we really want to celebrate his original IP, his own takes on these classic fairytale characters. So when we talked to him, he was super enthusiastic, and we were able to work from, there's a lot of great source material art out there already. This one, the first one in the line, the Little Mermaid, is obviously inspired by, I think it was his first calendar or second calendar that she made her debut, where she's in the ocean, moonlit with the ship in the far background. We kind of pulled from that, and then while we're sculpting it with Jack Matthews, who's an amazing traditional sculptor, now digital. He's worked in the industry for over 20 years, I believe.
Wow.
He worked at other companies on artist lines doing pieces for Adam Hughes and Terry Dodson, so we just knew he'd be a great fit for this. And now he's working digital. We can really kind of tweak and nuance the portraits and forms, really nail the style of J Scott's art.
Seriously looks like it just came right off of the page.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's obviously based on that art. Then when you look at it, you compare them, there's differences because J Scott's art has evolved over the years as well.
Sure.
He's really pushed more towards like a hyper stylized realism kind of a look instead of as kind of characterized as before. And he really want to push that as well, kind of like update these as well to kind of like celebrate his new style, his new art on some of these classic characters. So if the line continues and goes past the first three we've announced, if there's new art words basing these off of, we can kind of match that and they all work together as a line. So
That is awesome.
We have some questions
Yes.
already. The copies of the
So a lot of people are asking about the fact that there are two, because they've only really seen this one. This is actually an in-store exclusive limited edition variant, and it's only going to be available through retail stores. So the purple one does have freckles as well. The freckles are very subtle, but they are there. I just looked when I saw the question come through. So if you want to find a retail store that will sell her near you, you're going to want to go to sideshow.com/find-a-store. Sideshow.com/find-a-store.
I like your note here. It says find store and they just shoved a little A in there.
Yeah, because they changed the short link on me last minute, so I had to shove an A in there, which is not a phrase you normally say. So there you go. And people are also asking about this postcard art print. This is the exclusive.
I forgot if we're calling them art plaques or whatever, but it is a metal, tin.
It's like the one that comes with Danger Girl, yeah?
Yeah, with Danger Girl, with Pepper, with, I think Pepper was the first one. The Help Priestess, I think, came with it as well. It's I believe Help Priestess came with it as well. It's kind of a way for us to celebrate additional art that was used in making the piece, so it's not from an art print, currently it's not in books. I'm sure he'll eventually put it in some of his sketchbooks down the road. But they are, Katie, is that your name? I'm sorry, you're new here.
You're going to be... what is the snow made out of?
It's a clear, I'm not...
It says semi-translucent resin.
There you go. So it actually, you can see,
Are you actually talking about them?
huh?
What? What are we actually talking about?
I don't know. Mermaids?
Mermaids. They go like this.
Fairy tale fantasies? How come there's not a guy in the fairy tale fantasies yet? Don't girls have fantasies as guys? Merman. Merman! Yes! Yes! Merman. Luna's all excited.
Yeah, Luna's like, ah,
Yeah, so the
they
tail
clapped.
fins are that clear resin, and so are the side fins on her waisty waist.
Her waisty waist.
Yeah, her like her. It's funny. So we did have the discussion about anatomy, like if it's a female wearing a tail thing, like tail, or is it where does it stop being legs and become tail? And we decided we had a nice break with the thighs kind of going into the water and tail coming out. But we described kind of like the fit of these. You still get some human anatomy in there as kind of being like yoga pants. So they're yoga pants tails.
Tenchu wants to know, what are the other statues in the line?
So far we've announced Tinkerbell and then Alice. And Tinkerbell is currently in the sculpt's complete. Not to get too far ahead, but sculpt complete, and we're getting ready to mold and cast it. And she's awesome. She's actually smaller because she's Tinkerbell.
Aw, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm really glad we went a little smaller in her. It fits thematically. We tried her to be the same size, like if Ariel was standing upright, but then her with her wings, she just became big, and we're like, it's Tinkerbell, so we scaled it down.
I love it. That's so cool.
What scale are these?
These are
Fifth-ish.
scale.
Yeah, so they'll fit with the other J Scott Campbell, like the Spider-Man collection. Abby, Chase, we did do quarter scale because it's kind of with our femme fatale line, so all of our other quarter scale females. But with this one, we thought it was a nice way to kind of like, when we're looking at a bigger collection, the smaller the piece can be, helps with the price point a bit. So we did announce that, yesterday? $300 for this one? $300.
If you would like to learn more about her, you go to sideshow.com/Little Mermaid. And she goes up for pre-order tomorrow. That is November 9th between noon and 3 p.m. Pacific time. But you can go now and RSVP to be the first to know when she goes up for pre-order, and that's at sideshow.com /Little Mermaid.
So if you don't know, you just have to be there for 3 hours hitting like refresh.
Yep.
Or you just get the,
Or you just RSVP and you get the email.
Oh, it's like, go now! Right?
Do it now!
Oh, stop what
Yeah. And just so you guys know, she's about 9.5 inches tall. I measured her while Dave was talking, and about 10 inches
deep.
wide, because you would
Oh,
display
sure.
her. I mean, deep or wide, depending on if you display her this way
Like
or
the
this
term
way.
length with a piece. I always like thinking of as
I know.
depth of a shelf, not length of a shelf.
You've
But
said that before. We've tried to adjust for your needs.
I like to think I'm correct in this, and one day you guys will catch up.
And like I said, there are 2 of these for those just joining us. This purple-tailed mermaid is an in-store limited edition variant, so you can only get it in retail stores. And to find the retail store near you, you go to sideshow.com/find-a-store.
And they're so price friendly. If you can't make up your mind, you can just get both.
That's
Right.
true. That's true. And they can be friends.
Punk's Playground on YouTube wants to know.
What's her name?
Punk's Playground
Punk's Playground.
wants to know if the the purple one also includes the print.
It does not.
No, it does not. Just this.
Just the
You have to get this
OG.
Sideshow. Someone says, how did you come up with the base of the mermaid? Well, mermaids live in the ocean.
Don't be a jerk. Water, duh. This is actually one we did a lot of variations because the source art, she's out in the middle of the ocean with like this one rock peeping up. You don't know how close to shore she is, so we went back and forth on how dynamic the water would be if it's crashing waves, kind of like the scene or whatever, crashing waves, or if it's more still pool or whatever. And we thought we'd do less is more approach with this a little bit, so we can really focus on her, let this be kind of like a way to prop her up.
I really like that.
And so when we just talked about how we can do the bottom of this, we just decided, again, less is more with this. We just did a simple black bold nose that just kind of helps her, kind of whatever your display shelf is, kind of prop her up a little bit and let her kind of let the base disappear near your display space.
That's really cool.
And when you look at it, it's kind of hard to tell, but we did a transition of the water, so it's deeper water here. Then as it gets here, you see a little bit of the sand coming through, so it's like she's makes sense that the rock is kind of, up a little bit. So it's kind of like she's coming up on the shore. So it's a nice
I like
little
that. That's a really cool
subtle
touch.
thing. Yeah. So
like
I think it's
those.
highlighted in the photo gallery of the piece, but if it's not, fun fact.
Armand in Facebook wants to know, are the bases for the statues going to be similar, or are they all unique to the character?
They're all unique to the character. We try to make them all kind of work as standalone individual statements, but then work as a line. And again, we try to find ways to focus on the environments without having the environments distract from them. I mean, do you care if I say what the Tinkerbell base is? Is that a problem? Can I say what the
I
Tinkerbell?
think you should go for it.
Yeah,
All right, cool. So Tinkerbell, we did her smaller. She's actually in the original source art. She's based on which we debuted at New York Comic Con.
Mm-hmm.
It's this piece where she's in a lantern and Captain Hook's peeking in, and we're like, all right, well, the lantern, just that section of it's like nothing. And then we tried something with the hook, and then the hook's really big. We're like, eh. So we just came down with like a compass that she's standing on. So it's going to be a clear top compass that she's kind of striding along that helps kind of show. We wanted a piece in there to show that she's smaller.
Yeah.
So we did this compass, and around the compass is kind of like a sculpted nod to, was it Neverland, right? So
Neverland,
sorry, I'm like going through a lot.
Neverland and
TikTok
Alice is in
and-
Wonderland.
Yeah. So it's a
Confusing.
sculpted relief side wall, and then it's gonna be cool because we're trying to work in clear elements with each one of these as well. So with Ariel, it's, I forgot if the base is clear, or just the tails, but with the compass, it's a clear top, so you can actually see the needle pointing through.
That's
it and whatever.
awesome.
Yeah.
So will the other Fairytale fantasy statues come with in-store variants as well, or just this one?
We're, without saying too much, because I don't know what I can say, we are planning variants. I like the idea of, if it makes sense, do it. Don't just shoehorn in a variant just to do it. So with Tinkerbell, we're looking at a couple of options. They all will come with the tin as well. Or, I mean, each piece will have some form of tin, whether it becomes the exclusive item and then the figure's the main version, or the collector's edition. Or if we package them and offer them similar to this, we're still kind of discussing how we want to go about it. So
Awesome. Very cool.
hope that was a safe
Please
answer.
reiterate that the mermaids do not get submerged in water.
Oh yes, please do not put these pieces in fish tanks or pools or
Unless
any
you have
sort
two,
of water.
get one to put in a tank, and then the
No.
other.
No, because the paint comes off and it'll kill your fish. And let's just not do that.
And then Dave Igo just killed your fish.
Yeah, and Dave Igo won't pay to replace your fish. Just so you know.
I mean, fish are kind of like, just fine.
Some people get really, really fancy fish.
I have a friend that has like a really fancy fish tank, and those are his little babies. So I
Yeah,
understand.
so please do not, these are not meant to go in any sort of actual water. Please use them for,
But fake water's okay? Is that what you mean? Actual?
yes, fake water is okay. So if you fake water. Yeah. Well, we have an awesome video break for you guys. As an intro, before we unbox our Ghost Rider 6-scale figure, we had some very special guests check in at Sideshow HQ a few weeks ago. So let's take a look at them in this next video. And when we come back, we'll be unboxing Ghost Rider and giving him away. So you're watching Sideshow Live, and we will be right back.